This is the Santa Monica Pier, a world-famous tourist destination. Thousands of people visit every day. People fishing, riding roller coasters, and enjoying their days. But just about 1 mile further south, there was once a massive theme park, built on top a pier that no longer stands. A theme park that would have made the attractions here look like a kid's playground. This is the story of Pacific Ocean Park, also known as p.o.p. Built in 1958, it was a rival to Disneyland and well known as one of the most spectacular amusement parks Los Angeles had ever seen. Ahead of its time, with futuristic exhibits, dolphin shows, and an ocean skyway that floated guests 75 feet above the waves. It seems like something from a sci-fi film. Today I will visit its original location and find out how it came to be, what attractions reeled in people from all over LA, why it disappeared, and more. Welcome to Waste Media. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified every time we post. Long before Pacific Ocean Park would amaze crowds with sea monsters and space rides, this stretch of coast was home to something else. It all began in 1911 when entrepreneur Alexander Fraser opened the $1 Million Pier, a grand amusement pier built with reinforced concrete piles, designed to withstand fierce Pacific storms. The pier featured a giant dance hall, revolving cafe, and multiple theaters. But just 15 months later, a massive fire erupted from the kitchen of the casino restaurant. Fueled by strong ocean breezes, the flames tore through the pier. In just hours, 5 city blocks were destroyed. Lives were lost, dozens were injured, and hundreds left homeless. But the dream wouldn't be forgotten. By 1913, Fraser had built a new fireproof pier. It was simpler and quickly began to fill with attractions, crooked houses, mystic mazes, and roller skating rinks, to name a few. The pier was once again alive, and over the next few decades it would be reimagined and renamed countless times. Later it was known as Pickering Pier and also Ocean Park Pier. Although things were going great, tragedy would strike again in 1924. Another devastating fire spread through the pier, incinerating most of the attractions. But the pier remained, and through the 1930s and 1940s it began to age. Crowds were growing thinner, and rides were becoming outdated. In 1956, everything changed. CBS and the Los Angeles Turf Club saw potential in the aging structure. They envisioned a nautical-themed amusement park that could compete with Disneyland, which had opened 1 year earlier. They acquired the lease and announced a $10 million transformation. Hollywood set designers, special effects artists, and engineers were brought in to craft this new one-of-a-kind park. They called it Pacific Ocean Park. On July 28, 1958, it opened to the public. 20,000 people showed up on opening day. The next day, nearly double the number. For a brief moment, Pacific Ocean Park was the most popular theme park in Southern California, even outperforming Disneyland. The new theme park was set in a sea-themed fantasy world. It wasn't just a normal carnival on a pier. It was a Hollywood-level designed wonderland, built by the same scenic artists who worked on blockbuster movies. Visitors entered through Neptune's kingdom and descended into an undersea world via a submarine-style elevator. There was aquarium tanks everywhere, full of sharks and sea life. Once inside, guests could explore 28 acres of attractions and themed zones, which stretched far out over the Pacific Ocean. Among the most iconic was the Ocean Skyway, a gondola system with see-through bubble cars that sailed 75 feet above the sea. There was also the Mystery Island Banana Train Ride, which took guests through a jungle, over a lava-spewing volcano, and into a surreal tropical dreamscape. There was the Sea Circus, which featured live dolphin and sea lion shows in a 2,000-seat arena. Flight to Mars offered a space-themed voyage into the cosmos, and Deepest Deep offered a simulated underwater journey with mermaids and sea monsters. These were just a few of the many rides and attractions at Pacific Ocean Park. Pacific Ocean Park became a popular teen hangout, They leaned heavily into this demographic and even hosted rock and roll acts such as Richie Valens, the Beach Boys, and even Pink Floyd in their early days. But the magic didn't last. Beneath the carnival lights, Pacific Ocean Park was silently starting to fall apart. Visitors were frustrated by the park's ticketing system, which charged only 90 cents for entrance, but extra fees for most rides. Eventually, the park would shift to a pay-once price model, but it wouldn't be enough to cover high maintenance costs, which the park would start to face. As rides began to age and repairs lagged, the attendance began to slip. In 1965, Santa Monica launched its Ocean Park Urban Renewal Project. Streets leading to the pier were demolished or closed, cutting off access and turning the surrounding area into a maze of construction zones. Visitors couldn't find the entrance. Locals stopped coming. By 1966, attendance had dropped to just 398,000, a fraction of its early numbers. Financially, P.o.p. was in a free fall. The new owners had stopped paying rent and taxes, and in 1967, creditors and the city of Santa Monica sued for control. On October 6, 1967, just 9 years after its grand opening, Pacific Ocean Park shut its gates for good. In the early 1970s, the ruins of P.o.p. became a secret haven for surfers and skaters. Among them were the Z-Boys of Dogtown, the pioneers of modern skateboarding. They rode waves between the stilts of crumbling roller coasters and explored the skeletal remains of the ocean skyway. The forgotten amusement park became the gritty birthplace of a subculture that would change sports forever. And then came the fires. First in 1970, then again in 1971 and 1973. A string of suspicious blazes tore through the park's remains. By the time the final demolition began in October 1974, there wasn't much left to save. By February 1975, it was all gone. Today, there is no trace of the massive park that once stood here. A park that at one point was the most popular theme park in Southern California. Forgotten to history, the story slowly fades away. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and check out the Patreon. I've got an exclusive series on there called The Spiral, and it goes into in-depth on more topics that might get me demonetized on here. It's uncensored, it goes into more supernatural things, conspiracy theories, things like that. So if you want to support the channel, check that out, and see you guys next time.